Ren Carruthers and Matt Carruthers here for your Future Stars forecast on this 2-year-old Tuesday. Do you want to tell the folks why we're doing it this way today?
Well, first off, thank you for having me. I've been a big fan of the show.
Oh.
For how many years have you been doing this? Pretty long now, right?
Yeah, going back to when they first implemented, I believe in 2018, the Future Stars Friday card officially.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah,
okay.
it's been a while.
And that's been your baby, no pun intended.
That's true.
Ever since. Why are we doing? We're doing this because
I'm going to retweet us really quickly because I didn't. No offense to you, but I didn't pump this show up like I usually do other episodes.
With me as a guest, you don't really need to. The viewers will just come. They'll flock to the program.
Yes, they will. But, you know, in all seriousness, the reason we are doing it this way today is how to do it early. I didn't know when I could do it today. And I didn't want to try to get a guest to commit because we've been packing. We've been doing laundry. We've been doing a lot of stuff because we're going to Saratoga tomorrow.
And I have my other gig tonight, too. So.
And you have your other gig tonight. I have to go get my grays covered after I make dinner here after the show. But let's see. I'm going to
poor us. We have to go to Saratoga and get up early tomorrow. We'll be fine. But
yeah,
it is an early start. It is an early start, but it'll be great.
It'll be awesome.
Love it.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
Speaking of Saratoga, we saw, of course, as you would expect at Saratoga, some really nice 2-year-olds debut over the weekend.
We did, and kicked off on it was Jim Dandy Day, right?
Yes.
July 26th, last Saturday. That would be 3 days ago, and yeah, you had a horse and soldier and diplomat.
I have the replay. Shall I
show
that?
Let's get to it. Right off the bat in race number 2, one of us the favorite. And by the way, Jose Ortiz rode. We know how good Jose and Irad are. They're literally, they're winning everything right now at Saratoga.
Yeah.
They're the best colony in the game, and it will change. Things will even out a little bit, but right now they're torrid, both of them. And Soldier and Diplomat is the 4 in this race. And
there was some buzz about this horse before.
Yeah, it was bet down to 4 to 5. And the reason why there was buzz is, first of all, the horse went for $9.50.
And he went for $9.50 because he wowed, obviously, the buyers.
Sorry, because Army Mule
at the
stands
OBS
for 20.
March sale. Oh, we've got a commercial playing for some reason. Let's see if that stops.
What is that?
I don't know. It's a coil of some kind.
Is it a humidifier?
Okay, there we go. These commercials on YouTube. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, it's okay. No, Army Mule has been a very productive sire. The horse breaks well. This horse obviously has a ton of talent. Out of a violence mare, we mentioned that almost went for $1 million. The thing that I really like, there's 2 things for me I like about this. I like the fact this horse rates kindly. So, many times that is a problem for even the horses that have all the talent in the world and they win by $1 million. They don't do this.
Right.
Usually they don't find the garden spot, find that perfect kind of stalking spot. And that's exactly where Soldier and Diplomat was in this race. The horse who runs second is right behind him right now. I believe it's a cost, the 5 for Chad Brown, that finishes second in this race at odds of 6 to 1. So was it the fastest race in the world? No, but he wins, he rates, and I like the fight.
Yes,
he puts on display here at the end of this race, where you can tell Jose is working. He's getting real busy with the left hand. He can feel Manny Franco over his right shoulder. Here comes Manny, wire. And it was kind of a measured neck. Really in the final yards, I wouldn't say a cost was making up ground. You know what I'm saying? Like at the very end. So, the final time, 111 in 87 100s, 111 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Solid, not spectacular.
Well, it's still a very nice debut. 76 was the buyer there.
Which is fine first out.
And this is for St. Elias Stables. This is Vinny Viola.
Yeah.
Big fan of Vinny's. and Steve Asmussen, and then I think you already mentioned Jose Ortiz aboard. Now, one of the things that you did take note of that,
right,
you know, a few races later, we saw a 2-year-old filly debut.
The track was slow on Jim Dandy Day, so let's establish that too.
Yes.
So 11-4 over a track that's not a, you see that time by itself, it doesn't look fast. It wasn't lightning fast, but in context the way the track was playing. Yeah, Tommy Joe, Into Mischief filly.
Homebred for Spendthrift out of Mother, who she was talented herself as a 2-year-old.
Yeah, she ran in race number 7, 6 furlong, 2-year-old maiden special for fillies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that uncommon, especially this time of year. 2-year-olds, lightly raced horses, for the fillies to be faster than the boys. And that was the case. But I think instead of kind of penalizing and being harsh on Soldier and Diplomat, you give this horse a lot of credit.
Yes.
Instead. So I had the final time written down somewhere, 1:11 and 24 100ths. Look how easily she is moving on the lead in those Spendthrift Silks. I think she offers a 2-to-1 second choice in this race, if I could ever find the race. Yeah, 2-to-1 second choice. The favorite was Vajra for Rudy Brisset. Jose Ortiz went up as the 8-to-5 favorite, who did not break well, by the way. But look at this.
Yeah.
I mean, she is all by herself at the end of this race. I mean, Johnny V never touches her. Not even that rigorous of a hand ride to the end. And, even at Saratoga, where you have the best 2-year-olds racing in the country, along with Del Mar, you'll see for 2-year-old fillies, you'll see races like the Schuylerville, where the buyers are 72, 70.
Yeah.
I mean, 85 here. And you saw the ease
3 3/4 lengths, but
in
it
which
looked
she did it.
It looked more like more.
Yeah. She was training great going in. You mentioned, I think Mother won first out for Baffert. And yeah, I think as the cliche goes, sky's the limit. It appears for Tommy Joe. That was really, really good.
Again, as you already mentioned, daughter of Into Mischief, out of Mother by Pioneer the Nile, ridden by Johnny Velasquez, and as I already mentioned before, homebred for Spendthrift. So they've got to be thrilled with that. Not only did they breed her, but bred her with one of their superstar stallions. I mean, there might be horses as good, but not better than Into Mischief.
No,
right?
and the pedigree is spectacular. It's a homebred for Spendthrift. It's Into Mischief, one of the great sires of all time.
Yes.
So, obviously with this dirt debut, you're gonna stay on dirt. But if down the road, they could go grass if they ever wanted to.
Yeah.
And you would think that she was pretty good at 6. This isn't one of those, she has sprint pedigree and she won't be able to. She is bred to want more. And you saw the way in which she finished at 3/4.
Oh, Michael here saying.
Who is this?
Michael saying sovereignty for the classic. I would agree with you. At this point I
got my list tonight.
Stay tuned for that.
On FanDuel.
I would say at this point
he's number 1 on my list.
Season, is any horse better than Sovereignty right now?
He hasn't faced older yet, and it's the best older horse division we've had in a while. So I don't think he's like head and shoulders above those horses. But
1.25 miles.
Yeah.
And this horse has proven
fabulous.
that he's dynamic. Because for so long, people he's deep closer, and he proved he can hang closer to the pace. And
yeah, right.
I just thought, well, the whole reason I've loved him for so long, he was my Derby horse.
I know.
A little pat on the back.
It was.
But it was because he closed over a slow pace. I think it was at Churchill. There was nothing. I think the half was like 48 and whatnot, and he still came rolling. I was like, gosh, if a horse can do that and still finish in a nice final time, then this is a 3-year-old you got to keep your eyes on for the Derby. And then he didn't make me look silly because, he'd won the Fountain of Youth. I know he was second in the Florida Derby, but he already had the points then. Junior wasn't riding because he was out with the injury. They probably figured, hey, don't push the horse if you don't need to. And yeah, he came through there at Churchill Downs under the Twin Spires, and it was really, really exceptional win. I would say it might be pointless to argue it now, but I think there's a good chance that Sovereignty would have reigned over a Triple Crown.
No, yeah. Well, yeah, it's fair to say that. Since journalism, who we beat twice, is the winner of the Preakness. I mean, it's not that far fetched to say that. And the last thing I'll say before we move on is, I think we all would say that journalism is a really, really, really good racehorse. Yes. He's beat him decisively twice. So.
Yes. Okay. So actually, before we move on, let's go ahead and show the Jim Dandy, because I think even though this is a 2-year-old show, and even though this wasn't a win and you're in, it's weird to call the Jim Dandy, but I mean, they're going to be most likely tangling in the Travers. And I just think it behooves us to watch this replay of Sovereignty. Now, a lot of people, let's see here.
And they're off in the Jim Dandy.
Dolphin Blue. And he
broke sharp.
Broke on top, basically.
Yeah.
And then that's not where he wants to be. He drops back a little bit. But yeah, the track was tiring. It's a 5-horse field. They're all bunched up. Even if, you can already tell that they're not going overly fast up front. First of all, Sovereignty second. And whenever first to last, even at this juncture of the race, is only about 4 lengths. They're all bottled up. That means they're not moving very quickly. It was Junior Alvarado. It was a very confident ride. And, I understand why. I mean, this horse is turning into a great racehorse. I mean, I think he has to be older before we call him a great horse. I'm a little more strict with that term, with that word than other people. He's I think the best 3-year-old we've had in a while. But right here, Junior lets Baeza go. He didn't want to move at this point, even though Baeza is a really good racehorse who runs a hell of a second in this race.
And he was
look at him drop back.
Yeah,
he drops back, and he's willing to go 4 wide. Really most of this race, and allow a good racehorse to get the jump on him, because he knows his horse is more comfortable doing that, and because he has all the confidence in the world that he's going to respond when he asks him to. And he does right here, and he's still wide. So the fact that this is a very wide trip, the pace was kind of murky and odd, the field size small, and look how wide he is turning for home. I mean, he's in the 6th path, I think, at this point. And Baez is a really good horse. I mean, Baez is 3rd in the Derby, 3rd in the Belmont. This is a good horse who's, relatively lightly raced as well. And he really battles back. The rest are well back. And watch him level off here.
Yeah.
This is the thing. I mean, I think he got a lot out of this race. As we like to say in this game, Belmont did not have him cranked.
Right.
That was a measured length score, not touched at the end, in the perfect kind of prep race for, at the time, 4 weeks later, the Travers, now 25 days away.
I love this horse.
Yeah.
I love everything about him. I love his name. And
that was a 1 1/8. He's a true 1 1/4 horse, too. And that's obviously the distance he'll get in the Travers.
His pedigree, when it does come time for him to go stand at stud, chef's kiss. But hopefully many more awesome performances yet to be enjoyed before that happens. Now, before we move on to California, let's talk about what's happening this weekend at Saratoga, shall we? Or do you want to talk California first?
We can talk this weekend. I mean, it's their 2nd biggest day of the meeting. I mean, Travers Day is the biggest day, but Whitney Day is really close 2nd. Mm-hmm. Being the weather dork that I am, supposed to get a fair amount of rain Thursday, but then Friday looks decent. Saturday, Sunday looks spectacular.
Let me show you this.
Saturday, I think we'll be fast and firm. I'd be very surprised if we're not. Friday, I'm not 100% certain, but I think the Hall of Fame, the stakes on Friday, will be on turf. And I know the only contemporary going into the Hall of Fame is one of my all-time favorites, one of the most underrated horses of all time, Smarty Jones.
Oh, you gotta love Smarty.
Goes in. He won 8 out of 9. The only time I saw him was the Belmont in person. Oh, I was there in 2004 for that heartbreaking loss at the hands of Birdstone.
Oh, yes.
Anyways.
But that being said, let's talk about what races we'll be seeing this weekend that are win and your ins for the Breeders' Cup, starting with the FanDuel 4-star Dave, the Sultan of Saratoga. So this race obviously is always one that it's key. We've seen a lot of good horses come out of here. Oh, I'm looking over my shoulder and I see that you already have a selection.
No, not
yet.
I'm not just saying this because it's not, if you've watched me at all over the years, I don't just say complimentary things to say them. If I don't really think something, if I like something that much, I might just be quiet.
Yes.
But if I'm not going to say it just to say it. these stakes races Saturday at Saratoga are unbelievably competitive. They're not only are these, grade ones, winning your ins, Breeders' Cup at Del Mar, very important from that standpoint. The purses, the Whitney's $1 million, the 4-Star Dave is $750. These are outstanding gambling races, which is what for me personally, I look at most. I mean, the FanDuel 4-Star Dave. I mean, Johannes is going to be the favorite, and he should be, but you knew that was coming. It's his first start of the year. He's really good, and you might think, well, he's a Southern California or the turf
runs
racing.
Well fresh.
He was second in the Breeders' Cup Mile at Del Mar. So he is a super talent. Timmy Octane bringing him out east. He's going to be favored, and he should be, right, based on his record and based on the fact that he was second to More Than Looks.
Yeah.
In the Breeders' Cup Mile. This is a mile, the 4-Star Dave. But he, think big. I love the way the Godolphin horse, first time routing on turf, the way he won the Kelso, many out of that grade 3 event back in this race. That's a horse I'll look at. And at a price neat for Rob Atras, who was 4th in the Kelso. He broke from the rail, did have a very clean trip, and managed to close late. So it's an outstanding addition. I wouldn't single Johannes just because of the layoff and because of the quality of the opposition that he's facing.
But as I said, he has run fresh, or he runs well fresh.
Absolutely.
So I don't think the layoff is a knock against.
No, he won. I know it was a down the hill race, but he won off an 11-month layoff in the Baffle. He has won. That's 11 months. This is 7+. It's a different ball game than the Baffle here in terms of a grade 1. But this horse won the. He's very good at a mile and 1/8. He's better at a mile based on his second place effort in the mile. And he's a grade 1 winner. He won the Shoemaker at Santa Anita back in May of last year. So he's a fabulous racehorse. He's tactical. 4 for 5 with a second at the distance. And since he went on turf, he's really never looked back and become a top horse in the division.
Well, it's definitely, as you said, a very exciting edition of the race. Let's talk about the Whitney.
Okay.
Win in, you're in, of course, for the Longines Classic. So, thoughts?
All these races are great. The test is unbelievable too. The Whitney, it looks like Mindframe is going to scratch. That's what I'm hearing. We've been hearing that all week, right? That Fletcher and Rapoli, and that Mike and Todd, they're not gonna run them both against each other. And I'm hearing that Mindframe is the one most likely to scratch of the two. It's not official, it's not official right now. So it does change things, obviously. Not knowing right now is if he's in the race or not. The horse. Go ahead.
Not to interrupt. Yeah. I have to remind myself, because I'm not. You have a watch, but I'm not. I guess I'm a step below the luxury red Longines Classic. The S is silent.
Somebody really nice gave it to me. So.
Okay, so go on.
No, Fierceness is the horse to beat.
Yes,
I think. There's. In this day and age, it's kind of cool, or in this year, I should say, that it looks like we have 3 legitimate 1.25 mile horses. You don't have that very often. Sovereignty, it looks like, he's legitimate. He's already proven it. It looks like he's an outstanding 1.25 mile horse. And I would say Sierra Leone and Fierceness also. The Whitney's 1.125 miles. And I think that could be a problem for Sierra. If the race was 1.25 miles, I think Sierra Leone, I might like more. I think he's a horse who really wants 1.25 miles, where Fierceness, 1.25 miles, 1.8 miles, because he's more tactical. Mm-hmm. And he loves Saratoga. He's the horse to beat based on his record at Saratoga, based on his class, his running style, what he did in the Travers last year, beating Torpedo Anna, and arguably the race of the year from just a visual fan standpoint. But White Abarrio is kind of a mystery horse. He freaked in this race 2 years ago, the Whitney. I don't know what you make out of the Met Mile. I know he's run big at a mile before, but it was a sloppy racetrack. He hadn't raced in a bit of time. Now he's back at 1.125 miles. He's dangerous. And I'm interested in Highland Falls quite a bit for Godolphin. I've been saying Godolphin's name a lot. We always do. His only start at Saratoga was a Jockey Club Gold Cup at 1.25 miles. And at 7-1, he absolutely crushed in a pretty good final time. So there's a few different directions to go in this race. And Sierra Leone is a horse that I might not use, and I like him a lot. And it's Flavian Pratt and Chad Brown.
And you wouldn't be as critical.
And he's going to be your second choice.
Right. You wouldn't be as critical if he weren't 2-1 on the morning line. And going to take some play.
Right. He can win, but most races, folks, horses that are 2-1 5, you don't always use every short price horse, and they usually have a chance of winning. Sierra Leone's a horse who can win. I think I prefer others, but again, I haven't gone through the sequence. There's a chance I go deeper and use him. But if I'm going light in this race, I'm probably not going to use Sierra Leone. And I don't know about the pace in the race. Obviously, the pace won't be quite as hot if Mindframe does come out.
Yeah, and I believe David Aragona actually did put this line together with Mindframe likely coming out in mind.
Okay, he has Mindframe at 5-2.
Yes,
on the line. All right,
Let me see if I could find that post actually, so I can confirm.
He's as good a morning line person as there is.
Yes,
I mean, I'll admit, I do this for a living, right? I talk about races for a living, so I look at a lot of different racetracks and. Bunch of times I'm like, ooh, that morning line. You don't want to be mean, but it's kind of like, and I never do that in New York. And it's hard.
It's very hard.
It's a really hard job. I'm not saying I could do it great, but.
Here's what he said. He said, some of you may notice that the morning line odds for the Whitney don't add up properly.
Yeah.
I didn't want the presence of Mindframe, reportedly not running, to mess up the entire line. So I basically treated him as an also eligible and didn't count him when adding up the points.
Yeah, because I was thinking, I haven't looked at this race I know these horses pretty well, but I was, Fierceness 9-5. You have White Abaru at 4. Mindframe was 5-2, Sierra Leone 2. Yeah, I can see how it doesn't really add up. So okay, that's smart.
Yeah,
on his part. I mean, he's banking on the fate. He doesn't know for sure.
What if Todd leaves him in?
Well, that's what we do. You play the percentages. Yeah, right. I mean, that from a percentage standpoint, that was a thing to do. Could he get burned by? I guess, but it's still the right call. We can always go, after the fact, go back and say you should have done it a different way.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. It is tough. For sure.
So that's gonna be a great race.
The one thing I wanted
to race.
Well, talk about the Clement L. Hirsch, which is a win I should give the whole sponsor here. Clement L. Hirsch Stakes presented by Oak Tree Racing. That's at Del Mar. It's gonna be we didn't actually look at that, did we?
I have not looked
We've
at that.
We've not looked at that. We've not looked at
it. I apologize.
I apologize too, but I do a 2-year-old show. But that race is presented by Oak Tree Racing Association. That is going to be a win in your in for the Longines Distaff at Del Mar. What else do we have coming up at Del Mar? Let's see. Back to Saratoga. The Sword Dancer on the 9th. And then from there, it just goes on. We turn our attention to Woodbine.
Sword Dancer, a mile and a half, right? Sword Dancer? I think so.
Sword Dancer was such a cool horse.
Yeah.
Were you a fan? I was a fan.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let me go ahead and actually close this window, and we're back.
Okay.
In big style here. Okay, let's talk a little bit about another one of the races that's going to be run this weekend at Saratoga. And it's for the 2-year-olds. Not a win and you're in, but definitely a race we got to keep our eyes on. And it is, of course, the Saratoga Special, featuring Obliteration, who I'm going to show the replay here of him winning the Sanford Stakes, the Grade 3 Sanford.
We got to mention our hearts out to Tom Amos.
Yeah. Before I show this,
the Dazzle the World. I mean, it's just. I mean, it's.
And for those of you who don't know, very, very, very.
Yesterday morning.
Yeah, it was yesterday morning. Tragically, things just sometimes happen, and he had an injury on track, which ended up being catastrophic. And they tried.
Did everything they could.
They got him. Over.
Yeah, I mean, it's awful for any racehorse, but especially, this is a special. This is a special horse too. I mean, his debut was spectacular, and this was a horse that Amos was thinking could be maybe his best horse ever. And he's won a lot of races. And he's had horses like Serengeti Empress, so he's had some outstanding horses. And this might have been the horse with the most talent.
Right. And instead of me trying to articulate what happened, let me just read what he posted. So, he said, "It is with deep sadness that our stable confirms that Dazzle D'Oro sustained a catastrophic injury this morning during training. He received immediate attention and was sent to Rood and Riddle Equine Hospital a mile away from the racetrack. But due to the severity of the injury, we were left with no humane alternative, and he was euthanized to prevent further suffering. I want to thank the track staff, the veterinarians, and the hospital staff for the immediate care and attention Dazzle received. Everyone in our barn feels a deep loss, and our thoughts and prayers are with the owners and all who worked with him. And it is super sad. I mean, I had Tom on
I know
just a
you
couple
did.
weeks ago
That's
talking about this horse.
Because it was
and
that
this-
impressive, his debut at Churchill.
Yeah. So our hearts go out to you all, and I'm so very
Tough.
sorry.
Really tough.
Yeah. There's no good transition.
No,
So-
you know,
There's no good segue.
no, you do have, you know, we talk about some of these divisions. In the 2-year-old division, it looks like, you know, right now we still have 3 horses that could potentially become superstars. I mean, maybe, right? I mean, they're lightly raced, and you know, we have Ewing and Obliteration.
This is Obliteration winning the Grade 3 Sanford.
You know, this is July 5th, and I remember this day well because I was at Horseshoe Indy for the Indiana Derby, and that's where Steve Asmussen was. He was not here. So you're the one who sent me a text. I think I was working and said, "Oh, did you see Obliteration?" You sent me the video of it. I went, "No," and then I watched the race. There he is on the lead, and I went, "Oh my goodness, that was spectacular." And then I saw Steve about 15 minutes later, and he was brimming ear to ear. And he, like, I mentioned it to him from afar, and he came over to me. He wanted to talk about it. It's so cool seeing a guy who's the winningest trainer of all time, a guy who's trained Gunrunner, Rachel Alexander, and Curlin, and get this excited. I mean, you can go on and on and on, right? Matoli. I mean, it's like, I mean, he's had so many great horses, and the excitement you still have when you put forth an effort like this. You have your 3-2 favorite, you know, breathing down your neck, and you're like, no, that's you're doing absolutely zero to me. I'm going to pull away. I'm going to beat you by a pole here with Flavian Pratt, who will ride back. You know, he had an inside post. Now he draws the outside. He is again, I'm not going to say he's a spectacular horse yet. I will say this is a spectacular performance.
Yes.
And potentially he could be anything. Son of Violence. And, you know, he debuts at 5.5. Then he runs at 6 in the Sanford, and now 6.5 furlongs in the Grade 2 Saratoga Special, and 7-5 morning line. He's probably going to be, I think their odds will be more like he'll be 2-5-ish come post time, and Ewing will be in the even money 6-5 range.
And Ewing had a spectacular debut as well. 12 lengths. Son of Nick Sko, first crop representative of Nick Sko. I mean, Nick Sko was such a cool horse too. I mean, dynamic. He, you know,
great at 2, great at 5.
Yeah, I was
classic, mile.
Dirt
yeah.
Dirt mile. Know, was he second in the juvenile? Like, people forget how the longevity of his career, how good he was every year.
No, he was. I saw him at Del Mar. I thought he was beatable. There's other speed in this race.
He was silly one.
And he just destroyed them.
Yeah, and great temperament. We actually went out right after he had been retired to Tailor Made, remember? And we got to hang out with him.
That's right.
And he was so cool and kind. And
he's not even that big, is he? He's not.
No, he's not a giant horse. But I wouldn't. I think so many people, especially these days, they put so much emphasis on the horses being really big because they figure length of leg is going to be the equivalent to length of stride. And that's not the case. No. I mean, length of stride is about the mechanics. I've mentioned it a lot, but look at a horse like Northern Dancer. Look at
John Henry.
Yeah. I mean, look at Goldakova.
Oh, right.
They called her Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse.
So, I mean, I think, again, that's something that should never be a deterrent. It's all, again, about the mechanics. But as far as the Saratoga Special goes, it looks like, I mean, from the rail, Ewing's going to go, right? And then maybe we just see Obliteration sit off, or maybe he goes.
Pratt will just play off Irad.
And rock them off their feet right away. What do you think?
And I think Irad, knowing that it's going to be hard to beat Pratt, you're going to go. I mean, you need to get the jump on Pratt and Obliteration. I don't think you can be behind that horse. And I'm not saying that I don't know. Maybe 5 months from now we'll say that Ewing's a better racehorse. I don't know, but I think right now Obliteration just has more foundation.
Yes.
I mean, you race at 5.5 and then 6, and you're a Grade 3 winner versus Ewing, who's only raced once at 5.5, and it was a 5-horse field, and he won by 12 at 35 cents in the dollar. So he showed certain talent. I don't know if he beat that much. And just one start at 5.5, now facing a horse like Obliteration off a graded stakes win, coming off a 6 furlong race. I think now definitely Obliteration is we're going to see a better horse out of the two on Saturday. But that doesn't mean Ewing won't run great or even win. Really, I don't think he will, but he can run a terrific second. And who knows down the road where these two horses will be. But I think in a few days, the better horse will be Obliteration at the shorter price.
And of course, I've got a soft spot in regard to Ewing, owned in part by my buddies, DJ Stable. But sometimes you just got to set aside the bias because it does look to me. I mean, I love Steve too. I just don't know Steve as well as I know those guys, and it does look like
named after the great Pat Ewing too. And I was a huge Georgetown fan when I was a little kid. Sleepy Floyd, Pat Ewing, love that team. The '82 team that lost to Jordan.
See, a hockey and horses for me.
Yeah.
But I will tell you also, just going back to Obliteration, you're talking about how he's got the foundation of 2 races under the girth. One of the things we should still mention is that debut he had, which was a 7.5 length score, ended up being kind of a key race. We saw Curtain Call come back to win. Next out, especially in the slop there at Saratoga by 8.5 lengths.
I saw Clocker Special
82 buyer from
in
Mark
person
Cassie
at Ellis.
Yes, and Clocker
easily.
Special at Ellis. Yes, you were there.
Yeah.
Length and a half score at Ellis Park, and he had a 71 buyer. So this horse already beat some nice horses.
Yeah.
And that was just his debut. So
bigger fields too. 8-horse field in the debut. Ewing, was a 5-horse field. So right now Edge goes to the 6, and I think that the bettors will agree with my assessment, which isn't always good. You want the bettors to not agree with your assessment. That's how you get a price. But this will be a great race to watch. Not one of the better betting races on the card.
Okay,
Saturday.
So let's now move our attention.
Where are we going?
We're going. Well, we're not
going
actually
back to
physically
Cali?
going, but going back to Cali, Del Mar, and you know where we're going with this. We saw probably the most spectacular debut of all the 2-year-olds so far.
Yeah, it was Brandt.
A 101 buyer figure, unreal.
Named after your buddy, the great owner Peter Brandt.
Yeah,
Mr. Brandt.
Yeah, we have dinner all the time. No, I don't know Peter.
No, you
had him.
on.
We had a great interview with Peter.
It was really good.
We had a great interview.
Really good.
With Peter.
He was terrific on your show.
One of the things I so respect and love about him is that he is a true student of pedigree.
Why do I watch the interview?
It was I consider myself a petty geek, right?
Oh,
he really emphasized the care and
he loves this game. Obviously, I mean
discretion with which he pairs his mares and understanding the lineages and all of it, the whole stewardship of the breed. And I was so impressed.
He's been great for the game for a long time.
Yes. And so he has White Birch Farm, and Peter's also very involved in polo, and Amr Zaidan Stables. He is very involved in polo. I don't know if it was the thoroughbreds or if it was the polo ponies where they bonded, but
he likes tennis too, because we saw him at Wimbledon in the
yes.
Yeah. So anyway, so Brandt, this is Mr. Zaidan.
Yes.
And Bob Baffert, and Amr spent $3 million.
But can I tell you? Yes. But let me tell you, a lot of times you see these giant prices. And when I saw this colt in the ring, because I was paying attention, he is a jaw dropper.
Well, I mean, no offense. I should hope so.
Well,
I mean,
no. I get the, I should hope so. But sometimes, when a horse goes for big money, you can see it, but maybe there's other horses that also look good too, who went for less. Maybe their pedigree wasn't as fashionable or whatnot. This horse just, when they talk about the it factor.
Yeah.
And when he has the it factor, and he is obviously well-bred. Let me pull up so I have all the information in front of me in terms of
we already talked about Gunrunner, one of Steve's greats.
Well, Gunrunner out of Liam's Matt Maritainen. As you already mentioned, trained by Bob Baffert. And we had Pratt on board here, who Pratt's going to be riding Obliteration.
A lot of Breeders' Cup there, because obviously Gunrunner, winner of the Classic, Liam's Map, winner of the Dirt Mile twice.
Yes, record. I mean, although it had gone back to the dirt track at that point at Keeneland, but still, it was a record dirt mile.
He was a brilliant racehorse.
And people forget Liam's Map, half brother to Not This Time.
That's right. That's right.
But let's show
Okay.
this replay of Brant's debut. 5.5 furlongs there at Del Mar. 101 buyer figure. Not that that's unheard of, but a triple
rare.
digit buyer for a 2-year-old debuting is rare. So let's go ahead.
Yeah, he told. I mean, as you can imagine, not too many others can hang with a 101 buyer.
No.
Because a lot of these horses were making their debuts. They wait for Del Mar. So it's also, I mean, again, this is Del Mar where everyone's pointing their 2-year-olds for this race, and still 4 to 5. I mean, Baffert also had Balboa,
Yes.
the 5, who was your 3-to-1 second choice, who I think runs third. And this was an $875,000 purchase. So, I mean, the pedigrees were, I think O'Neill finishes second with Civil Liberty, but this is all about Brant, who the word was out based on his appearance,
Here he goes,
based on his
gray.
workouts, and there he is. I mean, without really, Pratt didn't have to do anything to get this horse in this position. You could see even Fresu on Civil Liberty had to ask a little bit to get in that spot. I mean, look at the hands right now.
See,
of
I
Brant,
love that.
of Pratt on Brant.
2-year-olds, a lot of times, if they have speed, they're so headstrong. You get them out and they just want to keep running. Brant had the wherewithal. He had the temperament to just, okay, I'll take back. I'll rate. No worries. I got this. That is also very rare to see.
And people sometimes, I'm probably guilty of this too. We go, oh, it was in a garden spot. It's not easy to get in the garden spot.
No.
I mean, this horse has the ability to break like that, drop back, kind of sit chilly. I mean, it's easier. It's easy to look at that and say, that was a perfect, look at this horse finish. So the final time, it was a track record for 5.5. They don't run this, this distance. They run, for 2-year-olds pretty much, but still. And Baffert's had some pretty good horses run at this distance. Look at this. Look at the way he finishes. I mean, he's at his best at the end of this race. And look at his stride. I mean, you can see Pratt looked excited at the end of that race. It's like he crossed the finish line like he won a Breeders' Cup race. I mean, it was amazing. He knows this horse. Look at the gallop out even. He's 8, 9, 10 in front. So the margin was 5.25. You mentioned the buyer was 101. 102 and 63 100ths. Eclipsing another Baffert horse from a few years back, Speedboat Beach, who went 101 and 86 100ths. Speedboat Beach ended up just being kind of a sprinter, but he was darn good. I mean, he won the Grade 1 Malibu day after Christmas, obviously as a 3-year-old.
Look at this horse.
I mean, this horse is, he wins by 5.25, but the runner-up, Civil Liberty, I don't know the chart in front of me right now. He is, 4? Look how strung out they are. He's 4 in front of, he was probably almost 10 in front of his stablemate Balboa, who ends up finishing third
Civil Liberty,
in this race.
Civil Liberty finished 3.5 in front of
3.5. Okay.
But the margin of victory,
so
for
8
Brant
3/4 in front of Balboa.
5.25.
Yeah, still 8 3/4 in front of Balboa, who was probably ended up being a very good racehorse.
And this horse, I know a lot of people get, oh, how far is he? He looks like he'd want more ground. He's built like a classic thoroughbred, from what I can see from afar here.
Yeah, and he had plenty of foundation. I mean, you look at his workouts, even in the form. You go back to 2 furlongs at Los Al.
Yeah.
Back at the end of April. So, and then, Baffert kind of, pouring it on with the works, 46 and 4 bullet from the gate, minute flat from the gate. And then, minute and 2/5, 46 and 1. I mean, that last drill coming into this race, about as slow as he can probably work. He worked 101 because Bob was like, we don't want to go too fast in the work before this debut. So he got a slower workout 8 days prior.
Yeah. I thought that was phenomenal.
Can he run on the Saratoga Special? Can he run?
He didn't look tired. He certainly did not look tired at all.
I think Baffert did that with Officer once. He wheeled back in a week and shipped across the country. I think.
Now
recall.
I just want to give a fun little fact because at least I believe it's still fact. I think not for debut, but I think the highest buyer for a 2-year-old belongs to one of my all-time favorite horses. Easy Goer when he won the Champagne Stakes 116.
No, 116?
Yes, a 116. I mean, you gotta love that, right?
It's pretty cool that you can earn a 116 first out and also win the Belmont by a mile, right? You know what I mean? It's like wow. I mean, that's just, I think that's so cool to have that kind of brilliance from a speed standpoint and then still be great.
Yeah.
At 10 furlongs. I mean, that's what makes a horse great, unique, special.
Do you want another fun fact? I don't have.
I love fun
I
facts.
don't have a video of this, but I just think it's a fun fact. Later on that same card, race 7, the mile main special weight for 2-year-old fillies. She didn't get a big figure or anything, but Soaring Angel was the winner there, and she, a progeny of Nick's Go, so another first crop representative like Ewing.
Okay.
But she's at a Kuyethi by Congrats, and that makes her a half sister to a horse that we already discussed a little earlier on the show, Johannes.
I was going to say, I was going to guess that, right? I was going to say, because in Tim Yakteen trains Johannes and trains Soaring Angel.
Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
All right.
That's a fun fact.
Now,
That was fun.
this show is about the 2-year-olds, but I would be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit about the races we saw later on that card,
Okay.
where we saw Brant, Nisos, Bob Baffert, winning the San Diego handicap. Now, this is not a win in race officially, but it is a dirt dozen race, so you get some money allowance toward entry fees. And he ran to his odds.
And Baffert's had some great horses that haven't liked Del Mar. I mean, Arrogant comes to mind, right? He just hated Del Mar for some reason. I mean,
And they're all in line.
unbelievable
Yeah.
at Saratoga. His Dubai World Cup performance was pretty good, but he hated Del Mar. This is a horse that has raced 6 times, and there he is. He's right there on the inside, sitting in third. God, we have all these great horses get these same trips, don't they?
Yeah.
They have speed, but they have the ability to sit. They don't need the lead. They like to relax, but they're so quick, they're not going to be far back. It's another situation like that. And here's Flavian Pratt aboard Nisos. So he's raced 6 times. He's won 5. The only time he's lost was at Churchill in the Grade 1 Churchill Downs in the slop on Derby Day of a 15-month layoff. And he lost to Mindframe in a scramble, kind of mayhem at the end of that race, 3-horse photo. We all know Banishing was the best horse in that race, who did heated for second with Nisos. But he's undefeated on a fast dirt track. And a lot, I'm so excited. I mean, usually I'm somebody who doesn't get as excited as others about this is the best, this is a great 3-year-old crop, or these. I mean, we have 2 maybe great 3-year-olds in the older horse division, folks. If you made a top 5 list right now, you're going to have some really good horses out of that list. How do I know that? I made one for my show tonight. So Nisos cracked my top 5. And some people have him number 1. They think he has that kind of talent. I mean, look what he does here in this race.
Yeah. He was sitting tight. Yeah.
Once he gets through, I mean, ball game over. He has not had outside of the race he lost, he has not had a competitive race. His other wins have been by 10.5, 8 3/4, 7.5, 5.5, whatever the heck this was. This is an unbelievably easy performance. The only thing I can say, the only reason I might have some others ahead of him right now, and I do, is that I do question who he's beaten. I mean, there wasn't much in this race. I mean, figures don't lie. The buyer was solid 102 to 108 in the Triple Bend at 7 furlongs. He's, again, lightly raced, only going to keep getting better, I would think. But he hasn't really beaten a good racehorse yet. Like a really good racehorse. I mean, he's beaten Urban Legend, Stronghold, Dr. Venkman. In this race, Miramati, he sat behind, who got tired.
Just a neck off Mindframe.
Yeah, right. But he didn't win that race,
No,
too.
but still.
But he
just
hadn't
a
raced
neck.
No, he could be. I'm just saying.
In the slot.
He hasn't proven himself like a fierceness yet in terms of beating elite horses, even a White Abario for that matter. But from a talent standpoint, he's probably right up there with them. He just needs to beat a better field for me to put him in that.
You're so hard to please.
In that tier.
But
But other people have that I respect.
But okay, again.
But he's fabulous.
Yeah. Bob and Pratt teaming up there this time for Balmacourt. And one of the things I do want to give a shout out to, because I am the petty geek, even if this is not a 2-year-old, I can talk pedigree. Nyquist over a Bernardini mare. What do I always
That's
tell
right.
you? Curlin over anything AP Indy,
Right.
Nyquist over anything AP Indy. In this case, it's over AP Indy's son again, Bernardini. Love it.
Okay.
Love it, love it, love it. And shout out also to Miramati. He ran a good second here.
He did. I mean, he's a faster. He lost to a horse who could end up being great. And he, I know we know Frank pretty well.
We love Frank.
And we'll be seeing him in a few days.
Yes.
Hi, Frank, if you're watching.
I doubt he is.
Probably not. He surprises you though.
Okay.
That I know he's thinking, dirt mile at Del Mar for for Miramati. Cut him back a little bit and let him go in the dirt mile. And he's a talented horse
for sure. Also trained by Bob Baffert. So.
Yeah, right.
Now let's turn our attention to a race which was an official win and you're in. And this is how we're gonna basically close up the show because I gotta make dinner because I have a hair appointment. Gotta go get my grays covered up, yo.
I gotta work. So we have to eat early.
Yes. So we had a big upset, an 18-1 upset.
Right.
Yes, in the Bing Crosby, a win and you're in for the sprint. And it was Lovesick Blues here who just came closing like a freight train, to use the cliche, over Hijazi. I thought Hijazi had it done. But Lovesick Blues just came rolling. I got the replay right.
I love story. I love this because I mean we're Baffert fans. You know Bob better than I do, but we both know him. But it's nice when the little guy wins. I mean, right? I mean, we've been talking about Bob a lot because he has so many great horses. But how about Mia Familia Racing Stable? How about a 7-year-old in Lovesick Blues who hadn't been on dirt in over a year?
Yeah, and he wasn't bad on it.
He's by Grayson. He's a Calbred. Grayson's, stands for 6,000. I mean, it's just, it's Librado Barroso, the veteran Southern California trainer. And I happened to, catch this race and then see the one and only Scott Hazelton interview Librado afterwards. And it's like, I mean, hey, anyone's excited after winning a grade 1, but you could really feel it with these types of, connections, they don't have horses like this. They don't win grade 1s. They don't win so for them to be able to, and here comes the move right now with Giovanni Franco, for them to be able to win a race like this, one of the biggest sprint races in the country. I don't know how many grade 1 sprints we have. I don't think that many. And to do it at Del Mar,
look at him close here.
A place where obviously the Breeders' Cup's going to be held. Hey, and he earns a 105 too. Yeah. I mean, the figure was decent. He's a horse who his record had been better on dirt than turf. But
he was running well on turf.
Against horses like Motorius, who's freaky turf sprinter.
No, if you're gonna say it, you gotta say it. You gotta say it with
Motorius.
Motorius.
I mean, it's easy after the fact. The horse did make some sense, and I'm always happy when small time connections can beat the big boys in a race of this importance.
What that feeling must. How do I want to put it?
Well, you could see it. You could see it in his face when he was being interviewed. I mean,
I did not see the interview.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But awesome. How that must feel.
Genuine excitement and passion for, and just and jubilee. And he named, everyone in his barn. He didn't make it about himself. The grooms and the hot walkers and the exercise riders. It was you can tell it was very, very special for this group that works so hard on a daily basis and doesn't get to win races like this for $400,000 against the likes of, Bob Baffert, Mark Glatt, Rudy Brisset, John Sadler, and the likes.
Yeah, well, again, that was a spectacular performance, and you could, as you went over why, make the argument for this horse.
It was a wide open race. I mean, did I pick the horse? No. Did I bet the horse? No. But I mean, it wasn't a crazy horse. It was an absolutely wide open race.
So given that, what do you think going forward in this division for him? Because some people go, oh, fluke. But I mean, you don't know. That wasn't fluky.
I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't know the division all that well. It doesn't seem like it's the strongest of sprint divisions right now. Maybe I'm blanking on somebody that I can't think of, this sprinter who seems to be dominant right now. So I don't know. It seems like go ahead.
Bookham Dano.
Oh yeah. Oh, Bookham. Yeah, right. I did blank. Yeah, he was 109 last weekend. So I don't know if he's at this level, but he's earned a spot in the World Thoroughbred Championships at Del Mar. He likes this racetrack, and I think
that's where they are.
I think being drawn wide was big. If he can get an outside draw in the sprint, he's gonna be a big price once again. Why not? I mean, he was 18-1. I guess he was 40-something to 1 as they're loading. He'd been on at 18-1. Yeah.
Well, we have good news on
but whatever. Yeah.
We have good news on that. Del Mar announced that.
Yeah, smart.
They're putting basically guardrails in place regarding
CAWs. Yeah, they're gonna 2 minutes to post. That's it. No more wagering after that for them. So that's
if you want more information, you can
That's the
head
right thing to
over
do.
to Del Mar's X or any of their social media accounts, and they have the press release up. So
No,
I'm very happy to see that.
I like when tracks pay attention, they listen.
Yeah,
and
they do.
that's what they're doing. So good for them.
Absolutely. Tip of the cap. But yeah, I would say, as you just mentioned, winning at Del Mar, especially going back to now Brant, going back to the fact that this is a 2-year-old show, to win as he did at the host track for the Breeders'
Yeah, it means
Cup
something for sure.
definitely means something.
Well, yeah, when we're looking at we talk about the Derby every year. So who's raced at Churchill? Who ran there as a 2-year-old?
Yeah,
right?
Definitely. But this has just been a fun little get you caught up edition of the Future Stars Forecast.
Thanks for having me.
With he's my favorite guest. I'm sorry everybody else who's been on the show, but Matt's my favorite.
Hopefully I'll be back at some point.
We're going to be heading out, like I said, to Saratoga, and hopefully we'll see some big time performances.
Oh, we will. Can't wait.
To post about, to maybe even, what do the youngins call it these days? Vlog about?
I don't know. I've been young in a long time. I don't know.
Well, anyway, thank you everybody for joining us on this edition of the Future Stars Forecast on a 2-year-old Tuesday. I'll check you next week live from Saratoga.